Hey there, toy collector friends and fans of magic and magic tricks and magic illusions alike. Welcome back to the channel. I'm the Triple TC, that's the time traveling toy collector, and today we're looking at something a little different. We're looking at the Haunted Key Deluxe from Murphy's Magic. There's lots of iterations of the magic key, and straight up, let me just tell you now that I won't be exposing how it's done in this video. Nor will I ever be doing videos which expose how magic tricks are done. The reason I'm doing this, it's a bit of a departure for usually what's on my channel. But some of you may have seen recently I did a video where I uncovered a whole load of magic tricks and illusions that I'd had from growing up, from the late 70s and the very early 80s. And I'd found them all. They'd been kept pristine by my mum, amazingly, in a couple of boxes. And they'd all aged relatively well. Some of the outer packaging a little bit tatty, but the illusions and the stuff inside absolutely top notch. And it rekindled a bit of something in me, to the point where I sort of put together a couple of very simple short routines, just for fun with the neighbours. For you know, having, not dinner party sounds grand, but so not quite dinner parties, but having a bit of just fun round with over dinner. And snacks, and I put a couple of illusions together, and I keep augmenting them. And so building on what I already had. So I'm thinking particularly, I had the Paul Daniels Velvet Range prediction board. I had that. I also had the Paul Daniels Svengali deck, which, if you're unfamiliar with that because of how long ago it was released, it's basically a long short card deck. It's all. I also have a Ouija board that's left over from some other stuff, and I had what else did I have that's relevant? And I had the Titanic illusion that was gifted to me, and that is essentially where the effect of the Titanic is you've got spectators who will, without any kind of direct obvious influence from you conducting the psychic experiment, shall we say, were able to separate those who survived the Titanic from those who did not. It's a very powerful effect. So I've also looked, and whilst I like the fun, frothy, quick hit routines that my younger self had in those TV magic tricks, I was looking to do a bit of an expansion of stuff so that I would be able to have something a bit more impactful for the coming Halloween season, because I knew I was going to be doing just a bit of something with some neighbours, and also with some family over the period as well. So I wanted to really sort of tie some things in together. So I've now tied in the Titanic illusion with an element of the Ouija board and with the prediction board, but also with this, which is the Haunted Key Deluxe. Now the packaging for this is very nice. There's a sort of a ghostly hand there, which you can just sort of see holding onto the key. There's some information here. I'm going to cover that up because I don't want anyone seeing anything they shouldn't see. But it is phenomenally effective, I'm going to say. I can't open the box because there's a way of scanning how you do the trick, what the secrets are. But this is what you get. You don't get any other props, so there's no thread, there's no magnets, there's nothing like that. It doesn't use any sort of external factors. You get this very robust, very strong, antique-looking key, which is perfect for the routine that I've developed with the Titanic passengers selection. It also tallies with the Ouija board because it looks aged. It looks like it fits in that particular sort of era. So I use it to, not to spoil it for anyone that is going to see my routines. Probably none of them will watch this. But essentially the key will I mean, there's lots of versions and stories, and I think that's one of the reasons I like the sort of more bizarre magic, which is the more spooky magic type of stuff, because it's the narrative that goes with it, which I really like. And the key itself, it's examinable, so you know the participants can look at it. I actually sort of say, because I use it as a marker as part of the Titanic thing, use it as a marker for an element I've built into that wasn't in the original. About life locking one of the two piles, and then I use this as a marker once the selection is made. Then we come back to it before we do the final reveal of the Titanic, and I get them to hold it in their hands, and I say, and actually if you close your eyes and make a wish, get them to do that, and then say, yeah, it doesn't really work for me either. Then I take it off them, and I place it you know, as you would. Very hard to do this with a camera, sort of in your hand. And then you operate through the power of connecting to, trying to stay in focus, the power of connecting to the spirit world. You operate the key, and the key will, on its own accord, or as guided by the spirits. See, if I put this hand here, it's this hand here that it focuses on. So I'm just going to adjust this slightly so I can actually get my hand in shot. But you can start to, I'm just going to move my hand there, it's easier. You can actually command the key to start to move by itself. The spirits will actually take control of the key, ever so gradually start to turn it. And you can say, right, now I want you to put your hand over the top of the key, make sure there's no external influences on the key. Is there? No. Okay. And then the key continues to roll, continues to unlock that door on the Titanic that trapped all those poor people. So at least now they can live on beyond and be freed, because the key will complete lock and leave. And it's a very close-up thing, so they can see that you're not sort of rolling it yourself, you're not doing any of those things, you're not going, oh, shift, or anything like that. It's a beautiful add-on illusion, and it's also something you can carry around in your pocket. So if you are interested in sort of quick impact magic that doesn't require anything sort of additional, so you don't need to have any sort of magnetic rings, no fake anything, it's literally you, the key, and let's say your connection to the spirit world, or whatever you prefer. So maybe the ghosts are coming, or maybe you can do it psychically. There's any number of variations. It lends itself to so many different stories and interpretations that actually do what works for you and what works for your sort of routine. For me, it is the spirits of those people that were trapped on the Titanic. One set of them managed to free themselves and escape. The other set did not. This key becomes a part of that story. And actually midway through, just before the final reveal, I use the key to connect with the life-locked group, and they then actively unlock the door that was holding them back in the past, and they're free to move on, unlike the others who are trapped and then will be pestering the person who selected them for the rest of their life. Or fun gimmicks like that has everybody howling. So heartily recommend this. I am in the process of collecting some other bits and pieces. I will just say this is obviously produced by Murphy's Magic, but it's available through Alakazam magic stores. And again, a few things that I've purchased recently are also from Alakazam Magic, and that is, and I will probably touch on those things as well, because I'm getting a couple of sort of spooky, bizarre magic tricks from them, just because I really love the quality of their props and the quality of their merchandise, and most important of all, as far as I'm concerned, the quality of their customer service, which is absolutely excellent. Anyway, this has been the Triple TC Time Travelling Toy Collector, sharing a little sideways step into some magic collecting. This is the Murphy's Magic Haunted Key Deluxe. It's a very straightforward routine. You do need to practice it a bit so you can master your control over the key, but it won't take long. Surprisingly, it doesn't take long to do it. You just need you and a mirror to make sure that you can see how it works and you can find your own sight lines. In terms of angles, there's no real issue. Once you've mastered it, people can be all around you, won't make any difference. It's very good for close-up magic. It's very good as part of the storytelling mechanism, and it brings its own trick. And actually there are several additional routines which, okay, in some instances do require you to have an additional gimmick to make it work fully, but they are explained in detail through the video instructions that you get with the set. For me, I don't think I'm going to use those in the foreseeable future. I'm going to stick to doing its primary function because it adds enough to the existing illusion to just make it even more spooky and even more scary. So that for me is going to be absolutely perfect. I'm not by any stretch of imagination a professional magician. I'm just rekindling a rather old-fashioned hobby of mine that I really enjoy, and it does go down quite well with the neighbours. So for me, it's just a bit of a bonus, really. So I'm just having a little dabble in picking up some stuff that's not expensive. It's not for what you're going to be paying for this. There's a lot of added value, and of course it's the sort of thing they handle it first. So they're going to feel it. They're going to see that there's no tricks to it. It doesn't open up. There's no sort of magnets. There's no rolling weights or anything inside it. There's nothing. It is what it appears to be, to all intents and purposes, let's say. So it's very good value for money, and then that you take it off their hands once it's failed to, for them to do anything with it, and then you sort of demonstrate the extent of the illusion of the spirits accessing it, using it to free themselves, and how jolly good and wonderful that is. Very impactful, very, very impactful. Anyway, thank you for sticking around for this. I may put some more magic stuff up. You can have a look at that or not. But if you are interested, do please drop a subscription to the channel. It's completely free, and you then have no obligation over what you do or don't watch. Similarly, if you could drop a like to this video, that would be absolutely wonderful. And it also tells me that maybe I should put a few more magic things in. As I say, I'm not going to necessarily do the tricks because they're quite hard to perform in this sort of space, and without a participant who can join in. But I will give you, where I can, just a sense of reviews. Is it value for money? Yes. Is it easy to do in this instance? Yes. Does it require a lot of practice? Not a huge amount of practice, but you want to be confident and comfortable handling it. For some people, that will be very quick. For some people, it might take a bit longer. You will find out for yourself. But generally speaking, I don't think it would take too long. And the instructions and the details you get, very, very clear, very, very informative. So I think you're in very safe hands. So I certainly recommend it. Anyway, if you've used one of these before or you use a different version, please no spoilers in the comments. I don't want anyone revealing anything. Those comments would be deleted, I'm afraid, so don't do that. But if you have experienced this, or you've got one and you've enjoyed it using it, or you have a routine in which you use it, then again, without spoiling it necessarily, do let me know in the comments down below. I'll be fascinated to hear. Anyway, I've been the Triple TC. You've been a fantastic magical assistant for today's video, and I look forward to seeing you in a future, or of course in a past video. And just remember that toys and illusory props really are things of beauty forever. I totally screwed that up, but you know what? I don't care. See you soon. Bye bye for now.